The Ugly Duckling's Journey of Transformation. Once upon a time, in a quiet countryside, a mother duck was happily sitting on her nest. She had been waiting for her eggs to hatch, and soon, she heard the soft crackling sound of her ducklings emerging from their eggs. As she gazed at her newborns, she noticed that one egg was much larger than the others. Finally, the egg cracked, and out came a big, clumsy, and very different duckling from the rest. The mother duck looked at the little one and wondered why it didn't look like the others. The other ducklings, when they saw the new one, began to laugh and point. "Look at him. He's huge and strange-looking," they cried. The poor duckling, feeling awkward and sad, tried to join in with the others, but they continued to mock him, calling him names like ugly and awkward. The little duckling wished he could disappear. As time passed, the poor duckling was made to feel like an outcast. The mother duck, although kind, couldn't stop the others from teasing him. Feeling more and more lonely, the ugly duckling decided to leave the pond and go on a journey to find a place where he might belong, far away from the mockery. He wandered through forests and fields, trying to find acceptance and a place to fit in. Everywhere he went, he faced rejection and cruelty. No one seemed to understand him, and he felt even more alone. But the ugly duckling never gave up. He believed that there had to be somewhere out there where he would be appreciated for who he truly was. One day, the ugly duckling came across a beautiful lake, and to his surprise, he saw a group of swans swimming elegantly. They looked so graceful, and their feathers were white and pure. He watched them from afar, amazed by their beauty and calmness. He longed to be one of them, but thought to himself, "I'm too ugly to be one of those magnificent birds." Winter came, and the ugly duckling grew even more disheartened. As the cold winds blew, he sought shelter in a little barn by the lake. There, he huddled alone, still feeling out of place. His feathers were no longer as fluffy as they once were, and he couldn't help but feel that he would never be good enough. But spring arrived, and with it came a warm, hopeful feeling. The ugly duckling felt something change within himself. His body had grown stronger, and his feathers had transformed. He noticed that his wings were no longer small and awkward, they were large and powerful. He felt a surge of energy and confidence. One morning, while walking near the lake, he saw his reflection in the water. He couldn't believe his eyes. The duckling that had once been called ugly was no longer a duckling. He had turned into a beautiful, majestic swan. His feathers were white, and his wings were stunning. He stood tall and proud, no longer feeling awkward or out of place. With a new sense of joy and excitement, the swan spread his wings and took flight, soaring over the lake. He felt the wind beneath his wings, and for the first time, he knew that he belonged. He was no longer the ugly duckling, he was now part of something beautiful. The other swans, who had once seemed so far out of reach, welcomed him with open wings. "You are one of us," they said, and the swan felt a deep sense of belonging. The ugly duckling had finally found his place, not only in the lake, but also in the world. From that day forward, he lived happily, knowing that true beauty comes from within and that everyone has their own time to shine.
If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to 5 A Minute Storybook for more motivational content.